Hi, I'm certainly glad you could join us today. It's a fantastic day here, and I hope it is wherever you're at. Let's start out today and have them run all the colors across the screen that you need to paint along with us. While they're doing that, I'll show you what I've got done up here. Today I have my standard old double prime pre-stretched canvas. I'm using 18 by 24, but you use whatever size is convenient for you. And I've covered the entire canvas with a very thin, even coat of the liquid white. And the liquid white is just designed to make the canvas wet. It's an oil-based medium that makes it wet, that's all. So we're ready to go. Today let's start with our little 2-inch brush, and we'll go right up here into the phthalo blue. I like phthalo blue, it's very, very pretty blue. And we'll pull a little bit of that out, just a little phthalo blue. Let's go right up in the sky. And let's just dance in a beautiful little sky using this gorgeous, gorgeous color. There. See, we just work all the way across and then begin blending downward. And automatically, the color will blend with the liquid white that's on the canvas, and we get lighter and lighter toward the horizon. And as you know, in a landscape, that's exactly what we're looking for. We want the color to get lighter toward the horizon. There we go, something about like it. And then very gently we can just go across to take out the little brush strokes. But notice intentionally I have left some little light areas in here. That will come out looking like little clouds in the sky, or little wispy things that just float through the air. And what the heck, let's have a little water in this one. Let's take a little bit of the phthalo blue. I might even add a touch, a very small amount, of the phthalo green and a little bit of black just to darken it. Okay, let's go back up in here. As I say, maybe we'll have some water in here. I don't know exactly where it's going to be, but wherever, we'll already have our blue color down. And we just put water wherever we want it, and where it's not supposed to be, we'll just paint right over it, no big deal. There, because as you know, we don't make any mistakes. We have some happy accidents sometime, and we learn to work with those. Okay, now then, let me wash the old brush. I just like to get even with the camera people, and this is my time. All right, shake it off, and we got them. All right, that's the most fun part of this whole thing. If you want to put the indication of a happy little cloud in the sky, you could just take and tap a little white on your brush. I don't want big clouds in this painting, I don't think, just a little. Be right back. Put a little touch of pink in there, just to warm it up. And you could go up in here, and as I say, if you wanted a cloud indication, you could do it just by doing something like this. A little bit of white with a touch of pink in it. But I don't want a lot of clouds in this painting. I think today, tell you what, let's try doing some fantastic mountains, something that's a little different and give you a little challenge in your life, and I think you'll enjoy it. There, I just pull those and blend them a little bit. And that's a nice way of making little wispy, soft clouds. There we go. And we're in business. And we get to wash the brush again. There. And we're back. All right, today, let's see. Let's take some midnight black, alizarin crimson, more crimson, maybe a little touch of the phthalo blue in it too. I want something in the reddish lavender hue. Shoot, let's get crazy. This is our world, and we can do anything in our world that we want. Cut off a little roll of paint, have it living right on the edge of the knife. Come right up in here. Maybe we got a big mountain, we do now, lives right there. Just where, let's have a lot of mountains. Let's play with some mountains today. Push that paint right into the fabric. Just get right in there and push it in. This is where you take out all your frustrations and hostilities, and there's another one. Just get up in there and push it in. The only thing we're concerned with is this nice top edge. We don't even care what's happening down below, at least at this point. Maybe down through here. We'll have another one here. I didn't know we was going to make a whole range of mountains, but that's okay. Sometimes it starts working good and you just don't know when to stop. Okay, now let me get a big brush. I want to grab this and pull it. I do this always nearly in mountains because it does two things. It removes excess paint and it blends that color down. It's mixing with the liquid white and automatically it gets lighter toward the base. And in the landscape, that's what we're looking for. There. And you can sort of use brush strokes here to figure out angles and highlights in your mountain. You can see these things. I don't know if they show up well on TV, but you can see them. And it's a super way of laying out your whole mountain without being committed in the least. There, just using the brush strokes. When you paint, you'll understand if you can't see it. Sometimes it's hard to make out on television. There. About like that. Okay, then we get to wash the brush again. That's really what I want to do today. This is your lesson in brush washing. We're ready now. Today, let's take titanium white, put a little bright red in it. Just don't want too much. Bright red is so strong, eat up your whole world in a heartbeat. There we go. Maybe I'll put a little of that mountain color we used in there to dull it down so it's not quite so bright. Yeah, that's better. I like it better. Sometimes it can get so bright it hurts your eyes. Have to wear sunglasses when you paint. There. Okay. Now, let's go this direction today. I just want a little hint. I don't want a bright mountain today. I just want a little hint of color in here. Very gentle, very gentle. See, just decide where these things are and let them go. There we are. Okay. There. Get that edge a little better. See there? Very gentle though, just barely caressing the canvas. Barely caressing it. I made that a little brighter because in my mind maybe the light's zinging right through there. There we go. And if one's brighter than you want it, just rub it a little bit. It'll go away. It'll go away, no problem. A little bit over in here. Something about like that. All right. Now then, have to start making some big decisions. Where's all these things at? There. Just play with color. Painting is so much fun when you play with color. And you can make any kind of world you want. It can be real, it can be fantasy, it can be something that exists only in your mind. And maybe that really is, ooh, I hit a little blue there. Let's use it. See, that's one of them happy accidents. I like it. There. See, we can just do that. That'll create a nice, soft, misty little effect down there. Just using the knife to blend. There, see how soft that looks? All right. Now, take a little white, little touch of the Prussian blue. Prussian blue is quite dark. Maybe I'll even put a little black in it. Ooh, that's good, that's good. Not much though, not much. I want the least little hint. We'll go right up in here. We'll just put the least little hint here. I don't want a lot of shadow color in this. Just some here and there. Maybe a little bit lighter just so it shows up there. How's that? There we go. Maybe over in here, just a little touch. There. This painting will give you a lot of practice using the knife and making some big old mountains that are gorgeous. I'll just jump back and forth between highlight and shadow here, and in places let them mix together. It's all right. You can do anything that you want here. Any old thing that you want. There we go. Make another little bump right there just by doing something like that. See, it makes a nice deep area in there. I'm going to take a little yellow ochre, least little touch of bright red in it. And I want the least little touch maybe here and there of some orangey color. Don't want much, just the least little touch right in there. There. See there? just to warm it up a little here and there. Back over in here, we need a little something back in this little goober. There it is. All right. There. I have one of my favorite people in the world is my Aunt Susie, who lives in Georgia, and she's all the time saying there's a little goober right there. I think a little goober means a little peanut. In Georgia, a goober is a peanut. There we go. All right. And we can just put these wherever. Okay. Little highlights and shadows. Now you can spend a lot of time just playing like this and putting in all kinds of little nice things wherever you want them. A little dark color here and there. And then just take and sort of work them in. Looks like all kinds of things that are happening in your mountain. Boy, them some rugged looking old rascals already. There. See there? Just sort of blend them with a knife. There, just really pushing very hard. You can probably hear how hard I'm pushing on the canvas. A little bit of that shadow color and just blending it in. There we go. Don't want to spend the whole show just playing with mountains, but I thought you'd like to see some mountains that are a little different and a little more fun. Sometimes these are just something different to do. There. I like to put these little dark areas in because it makes all kinds of nice things. There we are. Something like that. I'm going to put a little... But by now you should see how we make them. I want to introduce you to a fantastic lady while I'm finishing up this little mountain. You know, I tell you, I work with a lot of the rehab people all over the country. This lovely lady's name is Cindy, and she's right outside of Orlando, Florida. And she allowed me to come out and film some of her animals. And this is a little sandhill crane. And they think when it was in the egg, its neck got twisted up. And it probably will never be able to be released. But gorgeous ladies like Cindy devote their whole life to just taking care of God's little creatures like this. She has all kind of creatures out there. If you saw the owl earlier, that belonged to her. That's a baby that she's getting ready to release. Probably by the time you see this, he'll be out and living on his own someplace, having a good time. But I have the greatest admiration for people who devote their whole lives to them. Now see, here's Cindy showing me the biggest squirrel I have ever seen in my life. This is called a Sherman fox squirrel. I think they're quite rare. There's not many of them left. I'm just tapping the bottom of the mountain here. There's not many of them left. And she has one that is so tame that he's just unbelievable. He is gorgeous. His name's Little Bit. I don't know, there's nothing little about him. He's as big as a small kitty cat. There. All right. Look at the tail on this rascal. He is something else. As I say, his name is Little Bit. But isn't he something else? There. Okay. That's about all I'm going to do on these mountains. That's a very simple little mountain to do. I think you'll like it. And it's a little bit different than some of them that we've done. Tell you what, let's take, what do we got? Black. Prussian blue. Phthalo green. I like phthalo green. Put it right in there and put some crimson in with it. Ooh, a lot of nice, rich dark color. Let's make some trees. Grab the old fan brush. And we just fill it full of color. A lot of color in it, both sides. Okay, let's go right up here to the canvas. Big decision time in our world. Does now. Lives a happy little tree. I'm going to push upward. Make little pushy up trees. Just use a corner of the brush, push upward. That phthalo green in there just gives it a nice little effect. I like that. I like that. You can use sap green in there, phthalo. It's up to you. Sometimes I use sap green, sometimes I use phthalo. Depends on what your mood is, what flavor you're looking for. Painting is such an individual thing. Even from day to day, my mood changes. What turns me on one day may turn me off the next. There. That's why painting is so fantastic. It's one of the few things that you never seem to get bored with. Because if you painted for 1,000 years, you know that your next painting is going to be your masterpiece. And I hope you're plagued with this discontent. And by discontent, I mean, I hope you're plagued with never in your life being satisfied with a painting that you do. Because as long as you're not totally satisfied, then you'll continue to strive to be better, and you learn from each experience. And I really believe that if you painted for 1,000,000 years, there'd be one more thing that you could learn. There. I've painted since I was about 19 years old. Did my first oil painting when I was about 19. And to this day, I have not even scratched the surface. As I travel all over the country, I like to go to museums and look at some of the fantastic works that artists have done for a long time. One day I hope to see an original painting by Leonardo da Vinci. He, to me, is the greatest painter who has ever lived. He's just my personal hero. I think the man was just so gifted, not only in painting, but in engineering, thinking about anything he tried. There we go. I'm just painting these little backwards here, so we'll pull them down in a second and we'll have some little reflections going right in there. There they are. There. All we're looking for is just basic shape. Okay, clean, dry, 2-inch brush, grab it, pull straight down, gently. See there? Those basic shapes remain, then go across. That easy. That easy. Maybe in our world back here, I'm going to take some black and some Van Dyke brown. Maybe we had some nice stones that live back here. So we'll put in some dark color first. Something like that, doesn't matter. Then we'll come back, take a little bit of white, a little bit of dark sienna, maybe even a touch of the yellow ochre in there. There. Just various colors here. I'm just looking, got a little blue in it too. That's all right, I guess. Doesn't much matter. And just barely cut, just let the knife sort of graze here and there. And don't cover it all up. Just let it bounce and touch and find little places. The paint's thick. It'll pick out little places in there. All right. I got several fan brushes. I'm going to grab another one, put some sap green, some Indian yellow, ochre, all the different yellows and greens in here. Something like that. Let's go up in here. And there and here and here and there. I'll pop in, just pushing upward, a few little bushy areas that live right along in here. Maybe there's a bush lives there. See, there he is. You put them wherever you want them. Take a little bit of brown and white on the knife, put the indication here and there of a little trunk, stick. You can scrape right through, put in a few things like that. Back to our brush that has the green on it. There we are. Make it a little darker. We come back in here and pop in a few little highlights. Don't want many. I want this to remain quite dark back in here. There, just a few. There's one. See, a few little highlights on some of these little trees. Want it to stay dark, though. I like that back here. There, pushing upward, though, just bending it upward. All right, shoot, we're coming right along here. A little liquid white. There, cut across. Let's come right in here and put the indication of a little water line, something that, actually it's just a light color that breaks up between these two dark areas. There. See, just run it across like that. Something like that, there. All right. Okay, time to get serious here. Got to do the other side. I like doing them big stones. And our world. You ready? Here we go. Big stone lives right there. Big stone. This is just brown, black, something like that. We go back to the little highlight color that we had. Just sort of let that follow right around and just barely graze it. Just barely graze it. Just let it pick up on the high parts of that paint. Paint's very thick. Just worry about basic shape here. That's all. That's all we're worried about. I'm going to put some big trees and stuff in there anyway, so we don't have to worry too much. Might even cover up part of it. Pull some of it down. Make us a little reflection. Lives right there. Let's see here. Let's make another big tree over on this side. I don't want it left out. Okay. Let's start right here. Make a big tree. I'm pushing upward using that same tree color that I used before. There. Make a big, strong tree. Not all of them have big points. Maybe we'll have one here that maybe his top's not so sharp. That happens with evergreens. I've seen some that are just look like they got broke when they were a baby. There. We'll bring it right in front of the rock. So there we go. Now then we'll give him a friend. You know me. I think everybody should have a friend, even a tree. There we go. Because I like trees. I like trees. I spend a lot of time out in the woods just looking and studying trees. There we go. Something. Oh, let's see here. Tell you what. Let's just fill all this in with some dark stuff. Maybe we'll have some nice grassy areas right here. I don't know. If you put it in, then you're going to do something with it. Doesn't much matter. Because we can do anything here. We can change anything. We can add, subtract, just figure out where you want it to be reflections, where you want it to be ground, and do it. Just do it. Take a little brown and white, and maybe here and there in this old tree you can see a little trunk. A little bit over in here. Get our brush that had the fan brush that had the green on it. And we can go back in here and just pop the indication here and there of some gorgeous little highlights in this tree. There. This one has a little more yellow ochre in it. There we go. So it's a little different flavor. Just change the flavor a little bit. All right. The other little tree needs something too. Don't want much on him because he's probably behind that one. All right. And maybe we'll just let me dip it into a little touch of the paint thinner. We'll go into a little of that green color we have here. And all the yellows, a little bright red here and there. Tap a little color into the brush. Maybe there's a little grassy area. Yep, you're right. Lives right there. See it? Just a happy little area. This is a nice place just to kick your shoe off and run through the grass here with bare foots. I like to do that. Just all kinds of little things going on in here. Wherever. See, you make the decision where those things are. Something about like that. Tell you what, let's grab the old 1-inch brush. We'll get crazy. Got a second left here. We'll go right into some yellow ochre. I want a nice tree. Lives right there. And we can use just plain yellow ochre because we already have some dark back here. Maybe there's a little tree that lives right there. And he's got a friend that lives right here. See, something like that. And take a little brown and just put a few little indications of some trunks in there, like that. Shoot, we're coming along pretty good here. Okay, take a little bit of the liquid white. Let's just come in here, put on a little water line, something like so. Shoot, I think we're about to have a finished painting. It's a very easy painting. I hope you try it because it's a good study in doing mountains. Scratching a few little sticks and twigs, and your masterpiece is finished. Hope you've enjoyed this one. From all of us here, I'd like to wish you happy painting, and God bless, my friend.